A lot of people think that living the life that you love is all about discipline and staying disciplined to your goals or ideas, yada yada. But you would be surprised to know that actually now, before we get too deep into this, I want you to know that I understand. I come from a lot of chaos, a lot of heartbreak, and a lot of tears. But today, I can happily say that I live a life that I love, full of community support, a loving partner, a beautiful budding family, whimsical moments. It's wonderful. Today, we are going to talk about the science behind living a life that you love. Now, a lot of people think that living the life that you love is all about discipline and staying disciplined to your goals or ideas, yada, 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 yada. But you would be surprised to know that actually alignment and action have a lot to do with it. See, when I knew what I wanted, and I had it written down, I had it plastered all over my walls, I realized that even though I knew what I wanted, I wasn't actively choosing it. Subconsciously and consciously at that. And that is primarily due to the way our brain works. See, our brains are not equipped or not programmed for fulfillment. Rather, they are programmed for safety. So even when we want to turn over a new leaf or turn over a new chapter, our brains sees our new actions and our new behaviors as dangerous. So that is why, even though we know certain behaviors are not good for us, we may still actively choose them, even though they leave us with this icky feeling or in a bad situation. So we might need to start asking ourselves, rather than why are we not disciplined? Why are we not able to avoid these things? What are we being primed for? Now, priming is a psychological concept where stimuli is introduced into an environment, and that stimuli in return affects the environment, either positively or negatively. We can kind of think about this in a logic model. So let's say your ultimate goal is to have a healthier lifestyle. Now, if you're inputting toxic friendships, if you're inputting, let's say, like a club culture kind of deal where you're like going out to the club every night till 2 a.m. drinking and smoking, your output is not going to be a healthier lifestyle. You might actually, I don't know, go the opposite way. But if your input is intentional community, gatherings that are surrounded around maybe exercise or healthy eating, and add in a little bit of positivity in every environment that you're into or that you're in, your output would most likely lead to a healthier lifestyle. Now, the cool thing about priming is that you can do it for yourself, and you can do it by introducing different words or putting yourself in certain environments. There was a study done by John Bart, but he had two test groups. One test group was the control group. The second test group, he introduced stimuli, specifically words such as elderly. And I'm sure you can guess where I'm going here. Maybe you can't, I don't know. But once he introduced that stimuli or those words, the group started acting elderly. They started walking slower. So in the same way that he did that in the experiment, you could do that in your everyday life. So waking up every morning saying that you're beautiful, putting yourself in environments that promote your highest self. So maybe going to yoga class in the morning, or maybe hanging out with people who literally uplift and empower you. Or instead of going to the club, maybe you want to go to the library and start engaging in groups that are about becoming lifelong learners and staying in learning and growing and educating themselves. Now, the other cool thing is that you can actually prime other people. And same sort of deal. But I'll give you an example. When I was pregnant, there were two things that I absolutely did not want to happen. And this is a personal preference based on, you know, based on what I was feeling in the nerves and the anxiety. But I did not want my child to be in daycare for the first year and a half. And I also wanted to be able to be present for his growth. And in my head, I'm like, if I'm working from 9 to 6 and baby goes to bed at 9, I'm only getting 3 hours with him every single day, or maybe 4 or 5 at top. I didn't want that. I wanted to be present for more than 5 hours. And so when people would ask me at work about my pregnancy and how it was going, I would say, I like it. It's great. Everything's going well. But these are the concerns and these are the worries that I have. I worry that I'm going to work too much. I worry that I won't be able to see my child grow. And introducing that stimuli, introducing my concerns, ultimately changed my environment. And also at the time I was looking at daycare prices, and baby, them things are pricey, okay? Childcare is a grip, a mortgage, more than a mortgage at that. And so when he heard me, he said, okay, well, your job technically could be done remote, work from home. And I was like, oh my gosh, God. The heavens opened up. And so from there, I ended up being able to work from home. My mom comes down and watches him during the day. I can also be here. So when he does cute, fun things, I can come out the room. I don't have to pay for daycare as of now. And yeah, it just all worked out. But had I not introduced that stimuli or not introduced my concerns into my environment would still be the same. I would still have the same level of work-life balance. Now, I know what you're thinking, right? Priming others is not about lying. Or maybe you weren't thinking that, I don't know. But I just like to make it clear that priming others is not about lying to them. It is about letting it be known. Once you start lying to people about things, it becomes manipulation. And we don't want to do that because karma is real. It'll swipe back into us, or swipe back to us. So all that to say, this is where we get kind of intentional, right? Start looking at your environment. Start thinking to yourself, what am I normalizing that maybe isn't normal? What are my inputs? What do I want my output to be? And, start making those changes within your life. And I want us to just take a moment to ground down. Take a deep inhale. And then open mouth, exhale. Now, I want you to think of the life that you would love, without restraints, without any boundaries. What does it look like? Who's in it? What does it feel like? What is your day-to-day like? Have that picture in your head. Think about it. Now, I want you to think about your life now. What are the inputs that you are putting into your life now? And I want you to ask yourself, are these inputs representing the life that I want? Or are they habits and behaviors that reflect the life that I'm trying to outgrow? And yes, have a good day.